this is perfect. Weak people need caretakers. Lots of people in America have not been taught how to survive. It makes sense when they bend the knee to the government, right? We remember the enthusiasm 3 years ago. It was like this hall monitor, like, ooh, I know exactly what to do with my days. I have a path. I have a routine now. I don't have to make it on my own. I don't have to like worry about my hopes and dreams. I can just be like a good little COVID hall monitor and I'll feel like accomplished in my life.
Remember these broads in their jammies talking about how much they loved staying home because they ain't got nowhere to be.
Howard Stern. The stakes are now permanently lowered.
Howard Stern, who I used to fucking love, said to everyone just stay home. What's wrong with you? Okay, Howard, you sit at home on your piles of money and you can do that. You never wanted to leave the house anyway. That's what gets me. It's like, okay, well, everybody has a different perspective and experience.
78% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. Like, this isn't these people are so wildly out of touch. I don't remember who wrote the article, but it said the average American makes $33.82 an hour. I said, no, the average Californian might be making that and can't survive on that either. But I guarantee you that the majority of Americans are not pulling over $33 an hour. That is
Lady
not
Gravemaster.
happening.
That also the paycheck to paycheck thing is actually kind of outdated as well because most people are actually living on debt. They're not even living on paycheck to paycheck. They're living off their credit cards.
It's paycheck to 4 days before your next paycheck, and can you make the minimum payment on your outrageously high interest rate credit card? Like,
this is why people have to have a squirrel on TikTok and an OnlyFans.
It's disgustingly true. Like what really pisses me off is when Harris is up there and she's like, I was raised in a middle class family. I'm like, bitch, you have never
was a middle class family.
Never in your life have you played utility roulette. Never in your life have you been where it's like, okay, am I going to pay the gas bill, the water bill, or the electric bill? Like, which one am I going to go without?
Right. What was the thing she said? She said, I worked at McDonald's and I love the Whopper. Like, that's Burger King.
The Whopper.
That's Burger King.
It's freaking wild that she gets up there and says it. But I guarantee you, she's never played utility roulette. She's never had 3 square meals of sleep for 2 days straight while she's waiting to get paid. She's never made sure that her kids are the ones that are fed, clean, dressed, and they look presentable and just piecing stuff together and eating like the crust off their kids' plate while they're starving. That is such a common occurrence for so many Americans. It's not even fucking funny. And the fact that she's going to stand up there and be like, I was raised in a middle-class family. Yeah. Like, no, bitch.
You know what middle class is? Middle class is when your dad is like, oh, the bread is moldy. Like, and I wasn't raised, we weren't poor, but like, I was definitely raised in a cut away the moldy parts house.
Yes.
Like I was, and we're all fine. You know what I mean? Like you occasionally eat some expired food. You cut off the moldy bits. You
do the sniff check on the milk.
You have 3/4 of a bowl of cereal before you realize the milk has gone bad.
Yeah. No, but she's never she has never experienced any of that. And these champagne socialists who legitimately hate human beings do not actually understand what it is to be human because they've never been genuinely challenged in their fucking lives.
Well, I don't not believe that she probably grew up like in a normal household. It's just this is why I hate politics. I think that because she's in politics, they just get richer and richer and richer and trade, votes and things. But I don't know anything. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know anything about her past or childhood.
Well, you know what? If you want to find out about her past and
I would love to.
About what's going on, you should watch some of Candice's videos because I tell you, man, she's been doing like a genealogy thing on Kamala, whatever.
Yeah, she basically proved that she's not black.
Yeah, it's fucking insane. Like I'm like, what the hell?
Okay, so she grew up rich and she's acting like she didn't. Is that the
No, so this is yes. So Kat, what you actually just said, that's legitimately a common thing nowadays because we are in the oppression Olympics, and so if you
I love all of your rhetoric. It's adorable. What you said, oppression Olympics. Then there were two more that I wish I had written down. But go ahead. Sorry.
Utility roulette, was that the other one?
Yes, utility roulette.
Yeah, here's the thing.
Because some utilities won't shut you off right away. Sometimes there is a few months of leeway.
They'll give you 1 or 2 months of grace period, especially if it's the wintertime and you're in a northern state. They won't shut your gas off on you because it's actually illegal.
It's human rights.
It's So but then when spring comes, you have to pay up whatever you owe. But that's another time, another place. We can talk about utility roulette on another day. But
and you said champagne socialist.
Champagne socialist, yeah.
That's a cute one.
But so it's this entire thing that they're trying to like push is that we know what to do with your money better than you do. We know what to do with your time better than you do. We know what to do with your children better than you do.
Your animals.
Better than you do. And so
eat the bugs.
That's exactly the central thesis of why I hate politics.
Especially with the children thing, they don't think we know better than you do. They think the kids belong to them. Like that's the thing. They don't think that they belong to you. They belong to you.
Can have a say.
That's why you get a social security number because you are part of the system. Okay. And if you step out of that system, you get fucked.
Social security was supposed to be optional. You were supposed to be able to opt in. And now it is a requirement. You are given a social security number at birth. You know who else gave people numbers?
Unless you give birth at home and don't tell anyone.
In a bathtub.
Can you do that?
No, you still have to register your kid. Or else you could be taken to prison for the rest of your life because you're keeping the kid from the government because it is the government's property.
That baby's a taxpayer, for Christ's sake. You can't
the initial charge is for the one that they always get you for is suspected kidnapping and possible neglect and or abuse.
Neglect. There's a lot of neglect ones.
Yeah. Wow. So for home births that don't register and don't do the social security number and stuff, it's that they'll come in and they will literally arrest you, and then you'll have to go through the court system and you'll have to get your child back. And
crazy.
It's fucking insane.
Even the Amish have to do this?
Yeah, pretty much everybody.
I was born a middle class black child, honest.
God, that fucking line is gonna go down. Do you know she pissed off so many people with that fucking line because it's just repeated ad nauseum, and the fact that I don't remember who did it, but somebody clipped all of her accent changes together.
Oh,
and it's just fucking brilliant. Like,
it's the jerk. I was born a poor black child. Isn't that what? Yeah, right. And he's white.
Accents.
But it's just when she was literally up in Pennsylvania for a rally, and she was doing the cackle and the let me tell you, Pennsylvania, you matter. You matter. And then she went down to Atlanta and she was like, my brothers and sisters, I cannot tell you deep in my soul just how much this means to me to be here with all of you. And I'm just like, stop, please, shut up.
Okay, woman. I think we found it. I think we found the Kamala accent reel.
Yes. Oh, yeah, it's bad. It's good, but it's...
Weeping may endure for a night. Joy cometh in the morning.
What is he, a slave?
It may seem hard, the work may seem heavy, but joy cometh in the morning, and church morning is on its way.
You know, empathy, man. You know, for the suffering of other people. Have you no sense of purpose?
That's my favorite one.
a union member for paid leave. You better thank a union member for vacation time.
I love you back.
We're gonna beat him in November.
It's so bad.
Oh my God, did
And
you
you all
see?
helped us win in 2020, and we're gonna do it again in 2024.
Wow.
Hello to all my divine nine brothers and sisters. And my sorors.
Oh my God. This is bad.
Yeah.
Became some dynasty.
And to all my HBCU brothers and sisters.
Oh my God, I hate her laugh. She's so.
I gotta be honest, it
nuts.
crossed over from like I was really enjoying it to I'm really worried about us. Like
Never looked at him.
Oh my God.
I
Listen,
love when
it-
she turns Dominican.
it-
That's the best one.
Wait, is
Yeah, I know,
tomorrow
he-
election? Am I an idiot? Is it November
No.
4th?
It's
Tuesday.
the 5th.
Tuesday.
Unless you have early voting in your state.
I can't believe I'm not American and I know that, Keanu. How?
I'm not
Shame.
voting. I'm not.
Do you know when
voting.
What do
inauguration
you
day
mean you're
is?
not voting?
I know.
It could come down to one
Why?
vote, Keanu. It's up to you.
know,
You're
Yeah,
failing
yeah,
your
that's
people.
World at my fingertips. No, I can't. I don't like politics at all. I think
But,
they're all
but
free.
just vote anyway.
so.
Just vote anyway.
Just
why
I
not?
can't.
Just
I
do it.
can't. I can't
See,
do
yeah,
it.
he's
But
not
it
a
will.
voter.
I would love to hold that like at my fingertips. If it does
You
come
do.
down to one vote, then I will I'll have the world sit around me, and then I will be like, convince me why. that
There's a
I should-
movie about that.
I'm
I forget what
surprised
it's called.
Gino hasn't had a voting conversation with you, Keanu.
He doesn't care.
Can I go and
He's like, I don't even
identify
care
as
if you-
Keanu Thompson and then vote for her?
They won't even check your ID.
No.
I know. Can I just do that?
In fact, I voted
voted-
today. I tried to show the woman an ID. She goes, I want to see that. Like I was showing her a nude. Like that's how
Oh my
disgusting she was.
God.
It's
Like,
so
I put
crazy.
that away. I don't need to see
It-
that.
It's so crazy being in Florida now how different voting is here. That you show ID and you have to sign the thing, and it's like
Yeah.
efficient and makes sense. In New York, you just give them your name and tell them where you live, and you
My
can be
state-
I
anyone.
voted once, but I'm registered in South Carolina. I voted one time in my life, and I'm like, why did I even bother doing this?
You
It's
could
a red
make it
state.
too.
It's a blue state here, and
You
also
know, we were making
Whatever.
fun of this with my husband that in a couple of years from now, people will be able to identify as their different personalities and vote because they'll just like the people who have like
Bitch.
multiple personalities and then
like that split guy.
yeah, well, like the split guy, but it'll actually be like, instead of having the prime personality take over, it's like, no, like they're gonna have to share the body, like because the other personalities
Isn't that
need to
what
have
being
rights
trans
as
is?
well. I
Wouldn't
mean,
it be
well,
wild
this
if like
is getting
the
pretty-
internal conflict, one of the personalities lets slip who they voted for, and it's the opposite of like what
Yeah.
the psychopath killer voted
it'll
for.
be like the
and so
opposite.
there's like a literal civil war happening inside of them.
Yeah, you
You,
got
like-
like a lefty, you got a righty, and you got a center personality.
libertarian,
It'll be
just for
fucking
fun.
hilarious.
For shits
And
and
a
giggles.
libertarian.
Just
Oh,
for
I
shits
wanna
and
play
giggles.
this.
You're right here, libertarian. There you go. As a lady for I would love to see a female president. Wouldn't that be nice? I don't
No.
want.
I would like
one
to see a
by
good
default.
president. I don't care about
So,
the gender.
all right. So
I would
Keanu,
love
she-
to see a female president that's
I-
not a fucking Clinton
I just
or
want-
some weirdo
Yeah,
fucking
exactly.
Kamala
I just
Harris
want a
bitch.
One that
capable-
was the wife of a president. I don't want one that won because by default because Joe was too feeble to
Yeah, I
Don't
don't want
vote
to
against her.
my if I was a betting girl, which I'm not, I only gamble with my life, never my money. But if Kamala loses Tuesday, they'll probably boot Joe out so they can put Kamala in there so they can be like, we had the first female president for those last 12 weeks or whatever.
For
I
a
thought they would have
day.
done that already.
Yeah.
I actually
The passage
really
of
will be
time.
upset.
Mm.
I will be, and I don't care. I have no stake in this game, but I will be upset if the first female president, we have won the first American female president, is because Joe couldn't, he was too mentally
Hang
ill
on.
and feeble, and she won by default. Like I can't
You know,
women catch a break. Like
No,
So
so
you know
here's
what you could do?
my no, I you know
Vote
what, I'm
against
gonna-
her.
I'm gonna laugh though if the same thing happens at I think the 2016 kind of like the same thing happened where a lot of the undecideds voted for Jill Stein, especially just because like it was like a thing. So I think that it'll be funny if like a lot of the people who just don't like Donald Trump, because there's a lot of people just don't like the guy. It's not even about
they're not voting
really not about
Kamala,
that.
They're voting
But they also
Trump.
don't like Kamala. So it's not, so I would laugh if it's a lot of the undecideds actually do vote for Jill, because
I hope
I
it
think it'd be
is
funny.
like very divided, and then the world comes to me and says, Kiki, and then they give me gifts and bring me like presents and say like, well, if you vote for Kamala, and I go like, I wonder, like, what could it be?
I mean,
like,
wasn't Elon giving out millions? Like, you should have signed up.
In swing states, if you signed the petition and you got randomly selected, you could have won $1 million. I don't want a female president just because she's a woman. I don't. Here's the thing: throughout history,
a dope one though, that would be like not like.
I would like a badass one.
I just want a capable president. Because here's the thing: if you look throughout history, female tyrants are by and large far worse than male tyrants for a lot of reasons. Okay, well, Cleopatra managed to take out the Egyptian, the Roman, and the Greek empires all by herself, single-handedly. Like, collapse them into something they were never before. Queen Elizabeth I she is known as Bloody Elizabeth. She killed 5 times as many Catholics as her sister Bloody Mary killed.
A heavy flow.
And he used
very anti-man.
Yes, and she used Shakespeare to spout.
She married herself.
I love that.
Yes, so she used.
Is that the slut who wore the red dress to her own execution?
No,
that was Mary Queen of Scots.
Yes,
that was Mary J. Blige.
I like that bitch. I can relate to that tram.
If you look at female rulers and female tyrants throughout history, they make
Which are the others?
They make up. That's 2. So let's see. There's Empress Katerina or Catherine.
Nobody knows that. You know who people know? Hitler, not a good guy. That's
well. So that's a spectrum thing too. So
what about Margaret Thatcher? I mean, she was a fucking badass bitch. I mean, she was nuts.
That's the thing. I want like a lesbian president, like a tough lesbian who's gonna get in there, but flip the White House and sell it for a profit.
Thatcher wasn't a tyrant. That is the difference. I'm not talking about female leaders. I'm talking about female tyrants. And the thing is,
I don't know. That's debatable if she was a tyrant or not.
I disagree.
That's why they call her the Iron Lady. She wasn't very nice.
She took no shit, but she was not a tyrant. It has
nothing to do with gender. I just want the best person for the job. I
agree. That's what I'm saying. But when you implant somebody like Kamala was in, like, so many Dems are pissed off that there was not a primary. She didn't earn a single vote.
It wouldn't have been her.
It wouldn't have been her.
She ended up there.
I feel like they just do what they're told.
So the reason that it's Kamala and not anybody else is because right now, and they are working to change the law. Yes, it's because it had to be the other person on the ticket for them to continue to use the campaign funds that they had already raised. Otherwise, they would have lost tens of millions of dollars in small grassroots funding and hundreds of millions of dollars in PAC funding because it would have been frozen. Do you know that right now there is over $150 million, which has accrued interest over time, that is sitting there because the reason you can't touch it is it was specifically set aside for a project in New York State, and that project did not go through. But legally,
is it a squirrel farm?
Yeah, it's a squirrel farm, absolutely. But the whole reason it can't be touched is because it was allocated for these other funds. Now they're probably pulling from that. More likely, it's like a secret slush fund deal. You can get into all of the tinfoil conspiracy theory stuff, but there is $150 million that since 1977 or 78 has been sitting there untouched because the project that it was allocated for and that it was legally set aside for didn't go through, but the funds were already allocated, so nobody can touch them. It's the same thing that happens with multiple projects throughout the U.S., and that is why when people are like, where the fuck is the money going? They put so much red tape around it that it can't go anywhere. and then it can be utilized. That's why they sneak in these certain lines in different laws. Like if you look at the Border Patrol line, what that was going to do, it would have been worse than when Reagan gave in on amnesty. Like it would have absolutely obliterated so much. But
I haven't heard of that.
There's so much money that has been allocated for stuff that has never happened that the government just wastes. Now, I find it ironic that Elon Musk wants to create a department of government efficiency by creating another government department. I find that wildly hilarious because I do believe that
because task force work. That's the thing. You need a task force.
But private sector can deliver on that far better and more efficiently than any government entity or agency can. So government and private industry are always in competition. So government tries to strangle with regulation. Private industry tries to innovate and get around it. Like that's literally what we're staring at, which is why America is marching closer and closer to an oligarchy. We are in a pre-oligarchy right now. We are like 2 steps away from full-on oligarchy.
I'm definitely voting for the squirrel. I will go up.
I know Mikey has to go. Let me check through the chats here to see if there's anything Mikey related. Rohan says vote Kiki, vote Trump to avenge Peanut.
Yes. Can we change her mind before I take off? Come on, Kiki.
This is another one that has to do with voting.
If I were gonna vote, I would vote
from
for
Rootless Redneck JFC. Please explain to Keanu. You can only vote in a state you're a legal resident in. No, you can't decide to vote in South Carolina because you voted there last if you legally reside in New York. But I do support people not voting.
The South Carolina check IDs. I'm just saying.
Are you registered in New York?
No, I'm registered in South Carolina. So listen, last time I voted for Trump. I mean, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not.
So what's stopping you from doing it again?
I know. I feel like I just don't like politics.
She doesn't like it.
Like, just out of curiosity, is it because was it 2020 that you voted for him? Or was it 2016?
Well, yes, it was 2020. And I felt that like we're going to all be staying inside forever if I don't go and vote. That was a reason for me to vote. But yeah, I like Trump.
It felt more important.
What I like about Trump is I think he likes everyone. I don't necessarily like it's just that people that he has to get votes from people. I'm not the religious right, the stuff that he has to trade votes for and things like that. Like that's all politics. I don't hate the man. I think I think he inherently really just wants the country to be good and people to make money and have it be run by like a business. And I don't think he hates anybody. That's what I like about him. But I'm certainly not going to go vote for Kamala. She's, an airhead. But I don't feel like I have any stake in the game at this point. So that is why.
I wonder if it's so and feel free to not answer or anything like that. But just out of curiosity, there is that they were doing studies. A lot of people that voted, especially first-time voters who voted in 2020 for Trump, are not voting again this year because he didn't win in 2020. And it's like a trauma attachment. Like, have you come since you're not? Yeah, like it's like they're traumatized from
like you don't trust
voters. Yeah, they're first-time voters. They don't know they don't necessarily think 2020 was rigged, but they also feel like there was all this hype, there was all this like push, and then he didn't win in 2020. So like, why would I put myself through that
don't
again?
Get your hopes up.
Yeah,
in 2020, which is probably why I went and voted, to be honest. But it was such a dire time. Like,
yeah. It really
that's why I went and voted. I mean, I was in South Carolina just thinking like, fuck, I better go and vote. This is
right, because you were over there during the pandemic.
Yeah, right.
Damn.
That meant something to me. Now it's like, to me, I don't really have a stake in the game, and I don't necessarily. I just don't like.
You don't feel like things are that bad. You don't feel like it's affecting your life that much.
No, I mean, like if I don't love, either party. I guess I could go and write in, Minnie Mouse. Yeah. Or I could write myself in, I suppose. Fine. You know what I mean? Like, why
I love you. You're giving me an aneurysm.
I know, but what will my vote matter anyway?
It will. I will tell you why.
I hate that people feel that way.
Me too.
Yes. I will tell you why. Because the Republican Party sucks so badly. They are so useless. In New York, we've just, in the time that I've been alive, had Republican governors, mayors, senators, and then at a certain party, the Republican Party they lose once and they just wash their hands and give up on an entire state. However, and they've done that for years when New York used to be kind of winnable for them. However, the last election with Lee Zeldin, it was a lot closer. And hopefully this one, it'll be closer. And it kind of encourages the Republican Party to suck less.
Yeah. The Republican Party is fighting a war of attrition. And the liberals, the more authoritarians, they are fighting an actual fucking ground game war. Like, that's what they're doing. And it's, you can't win. Like, there's a difference between a tactical retreat and just outright giving up. And Republicans, Mike's absolutely right. They wash their hands of any state that if they don't take it once, they wash their hands and walk away.
Yeah, I'd rather don't say I did. And I also will, I will go vote for the squirrel. I will go vote and I'm going to write Peanut in, but
you'd have to fly back to South Carolina tomorrow. Though.
Right. It wouldn't even,
or Tuesday.
No matter what, if I registered New York where I live, it's a blue state. It's never not going to be a blue state. If you break it down,
it could be.
Reagan flipped it. Reagan flipped every state except Minnesota, which he only lost
Giuliani.
By 3,000 votes.
I offended Giuliani when he came into the restaurant.
It's okay. He can't help it. He's.
Well, I just didn't know him. I'm like, who are you? And he was like, I'm like, looks like he sleeps.
Kamala, good point, Cyberhunk. Kamala convicted over 1,500 people for marijuana.
Oh, that shit.
She is actually. She really is power hungry. There's a video going around talking about that she started right, her big thing on truancy. She would she was talking about wanting to throw parents in jail if their kids.
She did. It wasn't a launch. She did.
Yeah, I think she's an asshole too. If I were gonna vote, I'd probably vote for Trump. But it's just everything that comes with it. I can't.
What comes with it?
What comes with it?
Because Keanu, you think that you're going to be associated with what you think the worst of the Trump supporters are if you.
I don't like the worst of the Trump supporters.
You're already associated with it. These bitches will hate you anyway.
Yeah, I just
that's the thing. And what do you think if you vote for Kamala, you're gonna be associated with pedophiles? Then it's like
right. I certainly wouldn't vote for her because I can't. I would love to see a female president, not one by default. But
when you say
Trump himself, if it were Trump himself and not his supporters or people, I get very cagey with the religion. I'm not even saying I'm not a religious person, just the religious, severely religious people. It's just not for me. That's
and like I said earlier, I've been hardcore Christian conservative my whole life.
Right.
And so I completely 100% understand what you're saying because when I was in the Marine Corps, one of the people that was next to me who we had to trust each other with our lives, the guy on my left, Johnson, he was an atheist, and the girl on my right, she was Muslim. And so we always cracked the joke of when a Muslim, a Catholic, and an atheist get in a foxhole together. That was our running joke, right? And it was so great because you learn so much from everybody. And when you actually have those conversations and you hear well, why do you believe that? Well, why is it that way? Why do you think this? I don't think it. I know it because of this. And so you get to see all those different perspectives. It's really, really great. But then you run into some people who are if you don't think the way I do, if I can't convert you, if I can't do this, then you're an idiot or you're evil or you deserve to burn in hell. Those people are also the problem, because that is what in Catholicism we call, and I think it's just Christianity as a whole, but that is self-righteousness, and that is utilizing things in a way, it is actually taking like the Lord's name in vain when you claim you're doing something for God, which is actually against his teachings. So it's really interesting when you get to have those conversations, but I know exactly the kind of people you're talking about because I've met many of them.
Right.
So
I just don't agree that it's really a factor with Trump. I would completely agree with you if this was 20 years ago and it was Bush and Cheney, because I think I would never be a Republican if they were the ones running. And that was the sort of worst theological
Mike,
mix
are you
of
still
politics.
trying to leave?
All right.
It's
those Midwest goodbyes. Like you can't
It's an Italian goodbye.
Yes, exactly.
Yes, I should though. I love you guys.
I love you, Mikey.
Here's a clip. I think I saw this earlier today of just a little background on our girl.
I learned.
I think I was
already laughing at this one.
Started that work. I learned that with the swipe of my pen,
oh God,
I could charge someone with the lowest level offense. And because of the swipe of my pen, that person could be arrested. They could sit in jail for at least 48 hours. They could lose time from work and their family maybe lose their job. They'd have to come out of their own pocket to help hire a lawyer. They'd lose standing in their community. All because of the swipe of my pen. Weeks later, I could
It sounds like she likes it.
But their life would forever be changed. So I learned at a very young age the power.
The power.
Yeah, pen is mightier than the sword and all that. But
I didn't deserve to be there, weirdo. Yeah, that's.
Oh, that I feel kind of. Wow.
That gave me the. Yeah.
Yeah, I've never wanted to have that much control over other people's lives ever. Like with the swipe of my pen, I can make you sit in jail for 48 hours. That is not something that I would have ever even thought to say, because like, why would you want that? You know what I mean? Like,
because it makes you feel powerful, and
that gives me
it gets your pee-pee hard. Yeah.
These little dicks hard. Right, exactly. Her dick, my dick, all of our dicks. Not good. No, wait now.
Well, like, I just, man, it blows my mind that that's the kind of power they want. Whereas like what Candice was saying earlier, like mothers self-sacrifice every single day. And like you have all of these things that you can express that are incredibly feminine and powerful. And I guess it hurts to see anybody, like man or woman, like men who want that level of control also give me, as Keanu, what did you say? The ick?
The ick. It gives me the ick too.
It genuinely really fucking bothers me.
Vote for me, Kamala Harris. Nothing. Nothing. Joe is dead. And vote for me if you don't want your squirrels beheaded. And that makes sense.
I would love to hear her say that.
Wow.
Then vote against her, Keanu. A fumble.
Not voting. Yeah, I can't do it.